Well, I think there's a whole plethora of reasons, probably why not. I think it's too simplistic to say, oh, it's because the institution and the clergy want to maintain their power over people, and therefore they have to have some kind of way to intimidate them, and so they come up with the idea of eternal punishment. I think that's a much too simplistic viewpoint. I think there's I think for a lot of reasons we tend to this, and sometimes maybe in many of even those of us who would be in the universalist camp would still have twinges of this from time to time. We just cannot conceive of the idea of certain people making it into God's good graces. Everybody brings up Hitler, but I mean, you can go down the list of horrible crimes committed by horrible people, and they are horrible people. They've done horrible things, and it is beyond our imagining that they shouldn't get what they deserve. Okay, that's put it in the colloquial way of speaking, and what they deserve, we assume, is what we would tend to think they have, and it's kind of inbuilt in us, this sense of justice, and there's nothing wrong with that, except that we tend to forget that when we're talking about God, we're talking about something that is infinite, eternal, and is beyond time categories, and can look at the soul as something that is in transition and capable of being changed and transformed, no matter how long it takes and how hard the process might be for that person. So again, it's our lack of imagination, our lack of compassion at times, and also the fact that we do have an inbuilt sense of justice that is good, but is not meant to be the ultimate standard of justice in the universe. That's God. That's something that goes beyond our categories and our ideas of justice. Just like with mercy, we can't imagine anything so merciful as, well, to use the language of St. Isaac of Syria, that all of our fleshly sins are like a handful of sand that we throw into the ocean of God's mercy. You got people who would think that's terribly sentimental, but in reality, that makes the most sense. What are my fleshly sins compared to the immensity of the compassion of God, who creates all things and holds all things in being and flows through all things, and in fact indwells me, and in whom I live and move and have my being? What can possibly stop that from transforming me in the long run, even if, to use terms of time, after countless ages?